This morning to help us celebrate the decommissioning of Wetzel Hall. This is part of our University Housing and Dining Master Plan that we've started 5 years ago, so we're excited about this morning and everybody being here. Shout out to our alumni over there by the tents that came in last night and that have lived in Wetzel Hall way back in the 70s when they opened this thing up. For people that don't know, it was first built in 1970. It was named after Wayne Wetzel in 1971. It housed 824 students, male and female. It replicated Tanner Hall, and it served as home for over 20,000 students in the last 42 years. We took it offline in 2009 and in preparation for this morning. One of the things I want to do is make sure that I know he's out there somewhere, representing the university's Dr. Ken Hawkinson, our provost and academic vice president, and I think at least one of our board members, Kathy Early, is here this morning. She's here somewhere, aren't you, Kathy? But one of the things we want to do this morning is we did a text to plunge, a ceremonial text to plunge, and Bill Schmidt, one of our students, actually won it. So Bill's going to be up here this morning. Bill?
Right on.
All right. Right now, they're doing the final safety checks for this thing to happen. So for about 8 to 10 minutes, I think. Is that right, Joe, do you think? We're going through the final perimeters. They're going around the perimeter. They're checking everything one last time to make sure that this thing's all ready to go. Joe Rosalieb, our director of residential facilities, will give us a 2-minute warning and a 1-minute warning. And then we'll count this thing down and blow it up. It's going to be loud. The wire burns at 28,000 feet per second. So you'll hear quite a pop, and in about 10 seconds it'll all be over. So thank you all for coming out this morning, and enjoy.
Check. 1-minute warning. 1-minute warning. One.
Still racing, and I'm excited. I hear the first boom and I know it's a success, and it's just riveting. Like, I'm still trembling and I just can't describe it.
What about being the guy that's forever responsible of imploding Wetzel, pretty much?
You know what, I think we did it right. We celebrated it. We didn't just get rid of it, so I think it's a good thing. It's not, some people may think it's a bad thing who liked it, but I think it was a good thing. It was its time, so I think it was just time for the building to go and move on.
I lived in Wetzel from 79 to 80. I was a resident assistant there, so I was in charge of the floor. And there's a group of us here. Okay, the building's gone, but the friendships we pick up just like we were still here. And the stories we were telling last night, the stories we'll tell all day today are just part of our life. And so we met these friends, we kept these friends. It was a great place to be. There's a group of 14 of us who came in for this. So a couple flew in from Florida, and a couple came down from Wisconsin, and a bunch of us decided to convene. We haven't seen each other in a while, and we said, this is an event we should come to. And so we all came in for it. We pick up where we left off, and everybody, it was a little too 9/11 watching the building come down, I have to tell you, but So a little bittersweet. But the memories, you get to keep the memories, and you get to keep the friends. So.
Can you tell me one of your favorite memories from living here? Let's keep it PG, okay?
What's she doing? I have to think about that. I think just in 1979 there was a giant snowstorm. They closed school for the only time in the 4 years we were here. So there were no foot tracks to the buildings for classes. However, we took the cafeteria trays and sledded down the hill for hours like little kids, and then we wandered down the street to the bars.
I guess the first day when you got there and the moving crew, I mean, I never thought I'd go to college, and it was a big deal to my parents, and then we both came from Wetzel 5, and it was just like, we just clicked, and we've been friends ever since, and that was 1978 for me.
I would say the same thing. The first day, I met some of my best friends that we've been friends ever since. It was just a very interesting day because we were all thrown in here, mixed together, and none of us, had been really out on our own or anything. And we're all kind of in the same boat, bonded because of some of the best friends I have I made here.
And it'll be about 6 week cleanup, so we hope to get it cleaned away about 2 weeks into the school year. So when students return here in a few weeks, most of the sites will be picked up, and then it's our hope to eventually build a park on that site.
Brandenburg, once they got done gutting it, the company that actually did the blast was Controlled Demolition Incorporated. They came in, basically drilled holes into the columns, put explosives in those columns, and that's what you just saw this morning. They pushed a button and ignited all those explosives, and the whole thing came down. One of the things that the gentleman was talking about the other day when we were trying to say relatively how much of this material, they said it would fit under a large coffee table. So if you packed all the explosives together, it would fit under a large coffee table. About 95.
Can you just explain that to me a little bit further?
Exactly. So obviously all the copper pipe, basically all the metal that was in the building that was electrical wiring, this copper pipe, was waste pipe, things like that. All that material will be broken up and sent to a recycling center. And then anything that's on the ground, again, the metal will be pulled out. Even the steel rebar, the reinforcing steel that was embedded in the concrete, now that the building's on the ground, they'll be able to start pulverizing that material and separating the concrete from the steel. The steel, again, will be sent to a recycling center. The concrete will be crushed here on site. And we've talked to a couple of local municipalities. We've even talked to the Army saying, hey, as much of this concrete that you want that's broken up into gravel, you show up here with a truck. I mean, this, not for, we don't want somebody with a pickup truck showing up and asking for much, but any of the municipalities, the Army, things like that, they'll show up, we'll load up their truck for them, and off they go. So we're doing everything we can. We also got a letter from the state which said we could actually physically sell some of the material that was in the building rather than having to dismantle it and pay to have it shipped to Springfield so it could be sold there. We were allowed to sell some of that stuff here and keep the proceeds here on campus to put toward the implosion. In talking to this is obviously the first time that I've done this, but in dealing with the contractor and the people that do the implosion for a living, I've kind of heard some horror stories from them where people were actually camped out in different locations trying to watch. We had a very good security perimeter. There was a police officer stationed all the way around this perimeter. You can see the barricades and things like that, and there were people within line of sight, so one officer could look left or look right and see the other police officer. We've had coordination meetings with the city, the sheriff's department, the state police, the Office of Public Safety here on campus. So there were a lot of people that were involved in this to make sure that that perimeter was established. There were a few people that kind of came out of their house a few minutes before the countdown, and we relocated them very, very quickly. They overslept. But no, there was a lot of coordination. I mean, safety is the primary thing. Everybody wants to make sure that, one of the guys I heard say something earlier today, anything that's broken can be fixed. People, we got to make sure that they are safe no matter what. So.
Baseball field when it's really hot out and there's no water.